What's going on, guys? Chris here from Vo-Gus Prospecting. If you're new to the channel, a big warm welcome. If you're an old moldy beanie, it's keeping me quite warm this morning, welcome back. Today, Mick, Grizzly, Zach and myself are out in the hills detecting for some gold in old spoil piles, and we just found the first bit. We are on top of this massive mullock pile, and I detected my way up. I found like 4 or 5 bits of bullet up there. Then we did this little scrape here, and I pulled out. Oh, Mick, you've cleaned that up beautifully. We pulled this out. Check that out. That is a beautiful piece of specimen gold. So that signal was nice, but I've got exactly the same signal just here. Full gold signal. Could be another bit of bullet, but given that the gold was just there, I'm hoping it's a... I hope it wasn't that rock that fell down.
I'll get it.
Mick will be off. He'll be like a bloodhound. Oh, it's out. Woohoo! All right, stay still. Here we go. Oh, I hope it's that big chunky bit. I'm just gonna put that in the scoop.
Yeah, baby.
Oh
no,
no,
it's a tiny bit in there.
It's a tiny little bit of something. All right, this is no. It is a bit of bullet. I just keep finding spalding. We've been digging now for about half an hour, and I've pulled out literally 20 or 30 pieces of that tiny little metal. At first I thought it was bullets. I don't think it's bullets anymore because they're all sort of the same size and shape. It kind of all looks like copper or lead. It's really hard to tell because it's quite decayed. But this pile here, it's kind of hard to give you guys scale. Ugh. This pile just here, that is all very, very fine crushed rock. And then if you come up here, you've got this sort of raised lip and a flat spot, and directly in front of that flat spot is where this rock is. See, this is the quartz that I found that piece of gold in, that real rusted color, and it's all the same size. And I'm just thinking that perhaps there was a crusher there or some sort of processing, and this is the slurry that came off it. If you have any idea what this could be, given that the gravel's the same size, we've got a nice flat spot here, let me know in the comments below. Lay it flat and detect it. Ah, just an old bit of steel. I just found a piece of a horseshoe. So one of the animal miners that were working hard for the money. You're not going to believe this. Have a look at the size of that mine. There's all the old timbers in there, and it just shoots straight down. That is a huge hole in the ground. Absolutely massive. Oh my god, look at it. There's another one. I just wanted to show you some of the timbers. It must be relatively new. I mean, there's the nail head, but look at that. Just pulled out a little boot tack. That's kind of cool to find. So we're in the mine, and there's this top level that goes uphill, that shaft. And then there's this bottom level, and I'm just standing on what looks like paranoid chaos. Guesstimation. I'm just like real ginger right now.
Guesstimation.
Oh man, look at it. It just goes straight down.
Yeah.
It's just a straight down tunnel. You can't see it on the camera. And then that goes straight up. Donuts. Here, Mick. Cinnamon donut. If anyone doesn't know what the cinnamon donut challenge is, it's where you got to eat a cinnamon donut without licking your lips. So I've never been able to finish it. Now, there was an ulterior motive to having cinnamon donuts besides energy. It allowed me to bring a plastic bag, and we're going to fill it up with dirt from what we suspect is that crush pile where I found the first piece of gold today, so we can pan it out later and see if there is any gold in this, because quite clearly some work went on here, and if there's any gold left behind, a sample that size should tell us. I brought the world's thinnest, weakest plastic bag, so we only get half a bag full, but it's a good sample size, and we took it from several spots, like up here, and then we sort of sampled around to get a more of an average of this dirt. So we've got Mick the Badger Mole right down the very bottom there, doing his best impression of an 1800s miner. Now this little mine here I've been having dreams about for about 6 months, and so we're trying to get an ore sample from the back face. Oh, he's got some. This is the stuff I like to see. We've got beautiful oxides burning out inside fresh quartz. This is just something for all the newcomers who have got into detecting recently and want to find gold, and they ask me, you know, oh, I just found a heap of lead, why won't it find gold and all that sort of stuff. This is how you find gold, right? So there's even more in there stuck to the sides. That is all the spalding and nails and bits of stuff that we picked up. Literally hundreds of tiny targets. And I just spilt some more on the field to make it harder for myself later. If you're not digging this sort of quantity of trash, there's no way you're going to find gold, unless you're extremely lucky. Oh, we found this little mine on the way out. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see of it. It goes way back in. Super cool. I don't have a flashlight, so if I find anything, I'll show you. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out. Oh, there is a really pissed off wombat in this hole. He's not happy. Ah! Mick, I pissed off a wombat. There's a big wombat down there. Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to detect. He was just like, brr, and I was like, ooh, I'm out. After a full day's detecting, Mick and I headed back to the car to crush up some of the hot rocks we picked up on our adventure. You never know what's in a hot rock, and they're always worth a crush and sample to see if there's any gold hiding in them. Just bits of dolly pot. At least we know you're panning, right? After this, we took our dirt sample home from the mullock heap for further processing. Also, another important thing, learning your machine, you know. Your gold monster doesn't have to give you an actual indication on the screen for it to mean that there's something worth taking back. So just carefully watching just to make sure that there isn't anything golden coming down. No, just a heap of spalding. No gold. After a full day detecting, we've come home and I've got this bag of pay dirt that we pulled out from the crush mullock, some sort of mine pile, that we want to know if it's got gold. Because we think this is potentially ore, we want to actually classify it down to its smallest constituents, then put the large constituents in a dolly pot and crush it up. Because if there is very fine veins of gold running through this, we want to release as much as possible. This is not stream gold. We have to tackle this differently. It's a miracle this made it back. The reason that we did this dry was because I want to crush this, and you can't really effectively crush stuff wet. But we are going to go ahead and wet classify this stuff. Hey boss, can you take care of that for me, please? This is the minus and plus kitchen strainer. We're just going to pan this stuff out real quick. Well, if there's anything big, it'll be in here. I don't see a thing. So our plus kitchen strainer gave us nothing, but we're going to just quickly pan off our minus kitchen strainer. But this stuff and the plus kitchen strainer stuff is only a small percentage of what we have to search. With a little bit of luck, this will have something in it. Ooh, yeah, it does. Okay, that's an interesting result. Before I explain why this result is interesting, there's one thing you need to do if you're doing similar tests, and that is make sure that you clean all of your equipment. Wash it out, scrape it out, scrub it, so there is not a skerrick of gold on any of it. Otherwise, you'll get a false result. That's the gold we got out of 1/2 10-inch Minelab pan. I mean, it is very small, but there is a heap of it. I've now crushed about the same amount of ore that we started with when we did the first pan where we got that nice tail of gold. Alright, bit of fresh water and we'll see what we got. Again, this stuff is super fine. We've got one nice bit there and then a few micro dots just running across the top. Now, in all probability, because I only crushed up a little bit of quartz mixed with a lot of bedrock, a lot of host rock, that I didn't release that much gold. I'd really have to go back to that pile and just hunt out the pieces of ore or the quartz that contains the gold out of that pile and then crush them to get a more accurate result. Nonetheless, we didn't get skunked. We found a nice piece of reef gold. This piece of gold we found early in the day, and I am so glad that we managed to find that amongst all the other pieces of metal. I easily dug a couple hundred targets to find this piece of gold. At the end of the day, it's all about getting out there and having a little bit of an explore, because you never know what you're going to stumble across. I have found amazing nuggets in spoil piles that have been discarded by the old timers, and I know that there are literally tens of thousands more of those piles to go through. I hope you enjoyed this little vlog, the adventure that Mick and I had trundling up the hill to go and find some of these mines. If you enjoyed this video, chances are that you'll like some of the other videos that are up on my channel. I've got well over 300 videos on gold prospecting, including metal detecting, sluicing, gold panning, treasure hunting, the works. And in the near future, we're going to be adding magnet fishing and underwater detecting to the mix. As always, liking the smash button will go a long way to helping repair its feelings from being pummeled so much. Giving this video a share or leaving a comment down below also helps this channel grow bigger and better, so I can make more videos about gold prospecting for you. And until next time, please give your dog a scratch behind the ear for me. Peace! And I'm out.